Hey, how y'all doing, man? This is Mongo Slade, and today we're going to talk about the Lana, Asuka stuff, and let's get right into it. So, the first match on the show was Asuka versus Shayna Baszler, which is a match most people thought would be a great main event somewhere. Pay per view, not a pay per view main event, you know what I'm saying, but a good match that you could have built to. Like when they first teased it at Elimination Chamber, right? Everybody thought this is going to be awesome. When Baszler gets the belt, her first opponent is going to be like Asuka, and it's going to be badass. And here it is, 8 months later, 10 months later, actually, and they're the first match on Raw, mired in the middle of a tag team storyline that actually stars Lana. So it's not about either one of them. It's about Lana. And Shayna Baszler is kind of an idiot too. Like the pre-match stuff, you got Nia Jax giving Shayna Baszler a pep talk, and then Shayna Baszler is talking about turning necks and breaking arms, and your front's gonna look like your back, and your back's gonna look like your front. And Nia Jax like there's gonna be boobs on her back, and Shayna Baszler was like, "Yep." And I was kind of like, for the last couple of weeks, Shayna Baszler's been an idiot. She has been absolutely stupid. She has not been the cage fighter killer. And it all started with the R-Truth stuff, man. When she started meddling around with R-Truth, talking about tartar sauce and hot sauce and all that other stupid shit they was doing, that was fine because she wasn't really doing anything at the time. This was weeks ago. This was before she won the tag team titles when she was messing around with R-Truth. But that showed that she kind of have a sense of humor. And like John Moxley said, man, that's the biggest mistake you can make in WWE, man. Showing somebody that you can make jokes, that you can be funny, that you have a sense of humor. Because that's what you're going to be doing. And that's what Shayna Baszler has been doing. She's still kind of been doing some vicious stuff. And that's the better parts of Shayna Baszler. But for the most part, she's been a goddamn idiot. She has been making the silliest mistakes. Mistakes that she would never make when she was solo crushing shit in NXT. For instance, how she lost this match. Now, there's nothing wrong with the match itself. The match itself was fine, especially at the beginning when they were grappling, trading heel hooks. That stuff was kind of cool. It was fine. They were doing some good stuff. And then Nia Jax attacks Lana because that's the star of the show. And Lana fights back and does a hurricanrana off the top of the stairs. And Nia Jax's face hits the announce table. And everything stops. Because Shayna Baszler, who was winning the match, if we're being honest, up to that point, is surprised, like, what in the hell? And Lana is kind of running away. And Shayna Baszler is, like, following her, like, visually with her eyes. Of course, we got a distraction roll-up because it's WWE. So you got to have distraction roll-ups. And Shayna Baszler loses again to Asuka, who is the champion, who needed a roll-up to help her win a match. Like I said, man, we thought, Asuka versus Shayna Baszler could be a big match. WWE said, yeah, you know what? Throw it out there at the beginning of the Raw in the middle of some tag team bullshit with Lana. That's not even the craziest thing. Craziest thing is last week, Lana actually kissed Asuka. I'm pretty sure y'all seen this, right? If you haven't seen it, it was a TikTok video where the two of them were dancing, and then Lana just turned around and kissed Asuka in the mouth. By surprise. And I just said, like, we're kind of going, we're going real far with this thing. We're going real far with this thing. And I've seen a lot of people say, well, Asuka's an afterthought. And I thought to myself, like, wait a minute, what you talking about? Like, Asuka is sort of the centerpiece of this whole thing. She's Lana's motivation. She's motivating Lana. And she did it again here tonight. Well, I should say tonight, because I don't know when I'm posting this video. She did it on this show where it was announced that Lana had to wrestle Nia Jax one-on-one on next week on Raw. And Lana was worried. She was scared. She didn't want to fight. She kept saying, like, I can't do it. And Asuka, who was not wearing makeup, and it feels like it was the first time I ever seen her wearing makeup, which I know it's not because I saw the kind of Chan TV videos. But for some reason on Raw, it looked like it was the first time I had ever seen her without makeup. But even though I know it wasn't. Um, but she was wearing like her very smart blazer and everything, and Lana was dressed. And Asuka was saying to her, like, you know, gotta believe in yourself, giving her these affirmations saying, I can do it. I can beat Nia Jax. And she kept saying it to herself, and then Nia Jax looms over Lana. And I was like, okay. But I don't, like I said, this storyline has to end with Lana winning the belts and with Lana beating Nia Jax. So I don't know why they insist on giving that match away when they could have just saved it and maybe built up to it some other time. But I guess they're about to switch the titles maybe or something, and they just want to get it out of the way because, but whatever. But that was essentially the build up of this week. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler are becoming dumb ninjas. Yes, I get it that Lana is improving and they're not seeing her improvement. And that's honestly what kind of the story is about. And that's the intriguing part of the story. Is that their sneak it was a sneak push at first because a lot of people thought that Lana was being buried. And now people starting to see that, oh, okay, after Survivor Series, they were like, oh, okay, Lana's being pushed. And now people are starting to notice little things. Like there's a Twitter account called Catch You. They record a lot of the grappling stuff that happens on Raw, and they gave pretty good marks to Lana last week for some of the stuff she was doing in her match that people were not paying attention to. Like it was basic wrestling stuff, but it was stuff she couldn't do before. And then there was other people showing clips of Lana doing like workouts with Natty when she was doing basic drop down headlock stuff, arm bars and different things like that, showing that she can actually do this stuff. But they have been sneaking it in a little at a time. And the Hurricane Rana from the top of the stairs was another thing where I guess Nia Jax is supposed to represent the fandom who doesn't believe that Lana should be there, while Lana is trying to prove herself by sneaking in and doing little things, little holds here and there, a little flash here and there. She still can't punch and all that type of stuff, but she's learning wrestling holds. And people are kind of overlooking it because it's Lana. But there are people who are noticing it. I noticed that she was being pushed from the beginning. I knew she was being pushed when she was wrestling Asuka, because they were putting a lot of effort into it. I get that Lana is the star. Like I said before, Lana is the draw of this whole ordeal. But I really, I really want Asuka to be doing something serious. Shayna Baszler definitely could be doing something far more serious. I don't care what you do with Nia Jax. She can come, she could go. I don't care. But you have the Raw Women's title with no challengers. You just have nothing going for it. And this is usually how an Asuka title run happens. She's a closet champion. And it's been that way every time she wins the title. She essentially goes into the broom closet where she gets the title and then she's the champion and then she's doing a bunch of other stuff, not being the champion. They did the same damn thing to Shinsuke Nakamura. What is it about these Japanese wrestlers where they just can't do something simple as put somebody on the other side of the ring? It's that fucking simple. They don't have to cut promos. Just put somebody else on the other side of the ring. That's all you have to do. It's literally the easiest fucking part of booking a show. Oh, my champion does not speak English. Okay, let's see. Let's put somebody on the other side of the ring who can speak English. And then that person can do all the talking. I mean, how can they do it so well in NXT with Io Shirai? Io Shirai's English is not better than Asuka's. And yet Io Shirai looks fucking invincible in NXT. But as soon as you go up to Raw, all of a sudden, you get shoved into the broom closet. Oh yeah, you got a lot of success, but really, what did you do? And it's a shame. And I think for the last 3 years, we've seen Asuka find her way into TLC matches, usually for tag team titles. And Asuka has had a really good run in WWE as far as championships are concerned. Even in matches, she's had some very, very good matches too. You know, especially on the main roster. I mean, too. I don't mean just like her NXT run, which was phenomenal. She's had a really good run on the main roster too, with you know, working with Bayley and Becky and Sasha and Charlotte. Those matches, even the ones she was on the wrong end of, were pretty good. But they just refuse to just do something as simple as put somebody on the other side of the ring while she is the champion and let her wrestle them. It is literally that simple. You don't really need to do anything else. Asuka can get over on her own, but they won't put her in the position to do it. They think she needs Lana. So, but you know, at the same time, let me work my way through this. At the same time, Asuka being Lana's motivational mentor, motivation, you know, her sort of being Asuka's protege as far as TV is concerned. We know that she's actually working with Natty off screen, but this sort of thing is good for Asuka too, because it shows that Asuka can, you know, change the direction of something. Like, she's so good that she can make Lana look like a winner. Because that's really kind of what we're doing here, right? Is that we've got Asuka making the difference. You know, Lana was getting beat up, put through tables every week until Asuka got involved. And now Asuka's involved, Lana can show off a little bit more. She's actually winning more because Asuka is, you know, a little bit more focused. She's a lot better as a wrestler and a lot better as a performer. So there is that. You know, she is adding something to this story. She's not just there kind of riding Lana's coattails. She is adding something. But it doesn't seem like something the champion should be doing. Because the Raw Women's title specifically has been tied up in tag team shit all year. Like, literally all year. First it was Sasha Banks and Bayley. Now it's Asuka and Lana. It's just been all year with this tag team stuff. It's like they have no trust of anybody other than Becky and Charlotte with to have these belts. You know, and on SmackDown, Sasha Banks and Bayley, and that's it. And hell, Bayley was, you know, used Sasha Banks as a crutch for fucking 6 months. They refused to let anybody other than Sasha, Charlotte, or Becky run with these titles by themselves. All you have to do, literally, it is as simple as putting someone on the other side of the ring. That's all you have to do. And if they can't get over, take the title off of them. I mean, it's not that hard, man. This is stuff I grew up watching. You know, you just put the title on the guy. If the guy can't go, guy can't get over, you take the belt off of him. You know? It's that simple. But whatever, man. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video. Share this video. Subscribe to the channel. And I'll talk to you guys later.